Oregon beat Iowa at their own game.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, because this was a slog in the rain when, a lot of running the ball, really like good defense. And oh man, it was a real rock fight.
Welcome to Saturday versus Sunday. I'm John Barbin. With me is Jeff Dover, and let's talk football.
We're a couple of average football fans that watch college the NFL. We hope to earn your like and subscribe today. This is our review of the Oregon-Iowa game. What are your initial thoughts?
Oregon beat Iowa at their own game.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, because this was a slog in the rain when, a lot of running the ball, really like good defense. And oh man, it was a real rock fight.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of running the ball, mostly on the Oregon side. What did they put up? 260 yards rushing?
Yeah, that was really the difference. They out Iowa.
Yeah, totally. And it was a mess of a game with the rain, and it was hard to keep a handle on the ball. And it was, but man, Iowa just drags everyone into an Iowa game. It's almost inevitable. It's going to look like this no matter who they're playing.
It looks like it every time. It's the part of the reason why Friends has been there forever, because that was something that really, every Iowa game that I've seen for years looks like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a running the ball, good defense, try not to turn it over on offense, inept passing game most of the time.
Yes.
But are going to win like 8 to 10 games a year, because if you have the ball the entire, there was a stat at the beginning, like in the second quarter, where Iowa had like no yards, but was dominating the time of possession, and so even when you win the time of possession, is because you had the ball more and you were like being successful. So it was really eye-opening to see, if the other team doesn't have the ball, they can't score. And and so it doesn't necessarily mean you got to move it on offense, but it's like you're just keeping it away from them, which is really what it was.
Their goal is always to play. It's always to play keep away, and they did it here again.
Yes.
Not too badly. The time possession is 33-20 to 26-40. So it's still, they're still doing their thing, keeping the ball away. And yeah, 101 yards rushing, but they'll just drain the clock, run it for 3 yards, drain the clock, run it for 3 yards. I mean, they don't really care. The other way to view that is if you get massive gash chunk plays on the ground, you can't actually wear the clock out if you just chew up the whole field in a few plays, right?
Yeah. No, and it was that type of game. It is the best to watch that game recorded, because the game takes a while. And every time you skip forward 30 seconds, you'll never miss an Iowa snap, because they take the whole 40 seconds every play, because they just want to play. They're playing keep away. They just want to hold on to the ball. So it was super easy to watch this game after it was recorded, because there's no quick snap ever.
Yeah. Nothing's going so fast that you have to rewind and say, what happened there?
No.
We had a couple. Okay, so Oregon comes into this game pretty banged up. Dakorien Moore was out and Kenyon Sadiq was out. So they're two of
tackle. There was a tackle.
Yeah, tackle was out. And so they're two of their best receiving threats are out. Then in the mid first quarter, Gary Bryant, the only other major wide receiving threat, he goes out. So this is the other note I had here was this was a next man up type of game for Oregon. It was just whoever's on the field's got to perform. It doesn't matter who's on the field. You just have to perform. There's no excuses.
Yeah, no, this is a significant statement for Oregon. Going to win in Iowa is not nothing, like we just said. It was a rainy, ball control running type of game, and they out Iowa, So like it was they and with not everyone's battling injuries now. We don't want to get into injuries too much on the show. We're mostly just reacting to the game, but that shows you how deep this team is and what a good job Lanning has done with recruiting and stuff, because some of their key people were missing and other people stepped up, and this looks like they needed all of them to step up to win this one.
Yeah, and sticking with the injuries for one moment, Moore looked like he probably tweaked something in his leg on that long run in the second half, because he was full speed
he was
until
walking at the end.
Yeah, and it wasn't just him giving himself up because that guy had an angle. He was clearly was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So as of time of recording, we don't have any information if he actually tweaked anything, and I haven't seen any articles about it. But obviously something's up with his leg there, which is just another testament to just the grittiness of like, you just got to, it's almost like, okay, so it's all for everyone in the Big Ten. The Iowa game is a litmus test for how tough your team is.
No, that's a good call. Yeah, no, absolutely. And because you know what the game's going to be like,
Mm-hmm.
like there was some of the possessions, especially near the end. Iowa ran it 8 times in a row,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that is, and like you said, they don't break long ones very often. Like the longest run in the game was Moulton, but for 16 yards,
Mm-hmm.
and for someone that had 87 yards, like that's a pretty consistent. And so they just keep hitting you in the mouth, and you just have to keep hitting them back. And so
Yeah.
that's a really good statement for the Oregon's defense, that they're not breaking down as this goes on, because that's what would happen, to most teams.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And even when Iowa goes up against like an overwhelming favorite like Ohio State in the last number of years, and even in those games, if the box score at the end looks like a bit of a blowout, for at least the first half, Iowa usually even gives Ohio State fits. Like, I mean, national championship level Ohio State teams
Mm-hmm.
spend about a half a game just stuck in an Iowa game until maybe
Mm-hmm.
their talent just takes over. So even at that level, Iowa can drag them into the mud for some amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. It's got to be an uncomfortable feeling knowing that, first of all, the defense is always going to be good. So that
Mm-hmm.
side is going to be tough. And then the offense, you're right, you're just going to get hit constantly with as aggressive run game, no matter how few yards each run gets. You just know what's coming in waves and waves.
The other thing you're getting with an Iowa team is below average quarterback play. Like
Mm.
the number of times that there's someone like open in the flats, or like it's like there's just an open pass and they can't complete it. And this isn't just a statement on Gronowski. Like it's pretty much every other Iowa QB that's been there, is that this is
Mm-hmm.
what it's looked like. Which is so frustrating for a fan to watch. It's so frustrating because they run the ball. Everything else is there. They run the ball well. The defense is amazing. All you need is just every now and then to complete that wide open, like 8-yard pass, because then you can run it again for another 6 times in a row if you want. Like you need to have that one. So when they have that open receiver and it's just thrown at his feet or something, it's super frustrating. So it's I don't understand what it is when with QBs and when they go there, or how they're coaching them. I don't know what it is, but it's really crazy, the level of that they're good for at least 2 open passes, can hit the guy in a game.
And this guy, what did they say? He's got the most wins of any college quarterback ever, obviously at the other level. He's won multiple national championships before he came to Iowa. He has 55 wins, I think they said. So that some of that has to translate. I get it that it's not
Yeah.
the Big Ten or Division 1, but it doesn't matter. Like
No.
you still have to throw the ball,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
someone somewhere has to catch it. And now all of a sudden on Iowa, I get it. Their receivers don't get a lot of separation, but man,
No, but those in those cases, like the person's open, like they're wide open, and you just have to get it to them, and they can't, like he can't do it. And it was like that with the Michigan guy that transferred there too. Like he was a good QB, like and threw the ball around a lot, like, and then all of a sudden goes to Iowa and like they can't hit the open guy. Like it's crazy. I don't understand.
I don't know what it is. You're right. Sometimes it's open and they all of a sudden they just don't have the accuracy. Now, to be fair, this was a terrible weather conditions. So maybe you could give them a pass, but on the other side, Dante Moore was throwing darts out there.
Yeah. Well, and again, the guy can pass. That's the hard part. Like that was a really key, like 30 or whatever yard reception of the tight end, like in the second half there. Like that was really big. Like that was a good throw and catch, but like that's way harder than the 2 that he missed earlier where the person is just open. So it kills me.
To that point, in the fourth quarter, Iowa goes on a 93-yard drive, and Gronowski was throwing darts on that play, a couple of long ones. And it's like, I could imagine an Iowa fan's like, where the hell was this the rest of the game? Like, we can only do this once. That drive is coupled with the way they run the ball. That's like an unstoppable style of play when he's actually hitting his receivers. And it really only looked good and efficient and he had one other really long pass earlier in the game. But other than that, you're right. The pass game was just sort of kind of a non-issue, but man, when it all came together, that drive looked outstanding. And then he just couldn't You can't just do one good drive all game.
Well, and that was also another killer in the third quarter. I think they had a pretty long drive going, and then they had a fumble
On the
and that
13-yard line.
Yeah, and that is like Iowa is not built to overcome turnovers like that. Like the whole thing is based on holding the ball more than your opponent. So that was an absolute killer of a turnover.
Yeah, that the next play or the next couple of plays was the Dante Moore long run where it looked like he pulled up lame, but that was right after that fumble. So that was, but again, they hold Oregon to a field goal on that play, on that drive. So there's Oregon just couldn't pull away in this game, even though they outrushed them so badly. It was 260 to 100 and change. But yeah, that you can't an Iowa team that is limited ability to score. That might even be the turning point in the entire game, because at that point we're 12-7 and they're in the red zone. They look like they're gonna at minimum get a field goal, if not drive it in for a touchdown. And then the guy, the bell cow, Moulton, he must feel terrible, because it's not like he was playing. He's playing great all game long.
Yeah.
And then the one person on the team, on an Iowa team, that can't do that is the running back, given the whole offense revolves around him.
Yes. Yeah. And to say the whole offense runs around him, like, is not a hyperbole. Like that's
no.
So what I love this drive in the second quarter is the kickoff, and this 5-yard run, 8-yard run, 1-yard run, 5-yard run, 3-yard run, 1-yard run, 2-yard run, 9-yard run. Like that. How many is that? There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 runs in a row. Like that's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, and there's teams that really pride themselves on balance, like just as many run plays as pass plays. And that is not Kirk Ferentz, his philosophy.
No, he'd rather, I mean, you know what though? Every coach, if they could, would just run the ball.
Yes.
Like if you could run for 350 yards and never pass the ball, which is almost what Oregon did they had 13 completions for 21 attempts, speaking of Oregon, but half of that came at the very end of the game. And it was, if you're going for 260 on the ground, just keep it on the ground. It's just a lower risk way to play, especially in this type of weather.
The other thing that's another characteristic of Iowa is they don't beat themselves. Like they had one penalty for no yards, I think. So like that's really impressive, because
from a penalty standpoint. Yes.
Yeah, like because you're not going to beat yourself, So yeah, hats off to them. Like listen, this is a huge win by Oregon, because that beating Iowa at Iowa in the rain is not nothing. And when you're missing those personnel, like there was a full team effort. It's really impressive that Oregon can win this type of game, because we know they can win like a shootout too, and they've got a really championship caliber type team. It's a significant win for Oregon.
And we were talking about the Oregon Penn State game in a different video about the Indiana Penn State game. Go watch that if you haven't. But that was a gritty type of game too. It was obviously a little bit more scoring than this, but these are character building type games where it's just a mess. You have to win however that game dictates you have to win. And like we said, Iowa usually dictates the game. Like you're in an Iowa game here, you're not in an Oregon game here. So that's character building.
Yeah, significantly.
All right. So, I mean, I don't really have much else to say here. Oregon's still in the mix here. I think they
it's going to be tough. They need help, because Ohio State would have to lose to Michigan, and Michigan might have to lose one other thing or something. But Oregon's got a big game against USC coming up. So, because that'll be essentially be an elimination for the Big 10 playoff.
And or the CFP, just the playoffs in general.
Yeah.
Because right now Oregon only has one loss. If they win out, they're in. At 11-1, they're in. Maybe at 10-2, they're still in.
Yeah, but USC it's 7-3 probably, or 8-3 wouldn't be yours, So like that's.
No, I think, let's see. USC only has one conference loss. So
yeah, they're 5-1, but they're 7-2 overall. So just for the playoffs,
they're not getting in as an at large
3 loss. Yeah.
Well, but if USC wins out, you're right. That's an elimination game for one of those two at that game.
Correct. I believe so. Yeah.
Well, I mean, everything, at least the playoffs, maybe not the Big 10 championship game, but the playoffs absolutely is alive for Oregon. And it's just up to them to 10-2, I think is in. 11-1, I think they're in for sure. So, I mean, I think that goes without saying, but So it's all there. It's pretty basic for them. Just keep winning, and they'll be in the playoffs. And for Iowa, I mean, what are you going to say? This is a typical Iowa season. They have a stellar defense. They offense is lousy. They drag everyone down into an Iowa game, and they're going to be on the outside looking in, kind of as usual. I mean, this guy will never get fired. But do Iowa fans just accept that, this is just what we are, and you finish 8-4 or whatever, 9-3, knowing that the Big Ten championship game is just off the table, like right when the season starts? I know hope springs eternal, and they're always okay. This is the year, but how many years in a row can it look exactly the same until you just accept the fact that until Ferentz leaves, this is all it's ever going to be?
Yeah. No, and then that'd be a great question for the AD, because I guess like 8 or 9 win consistent team, but knowing that you're like more than 50% of the time you're not in the Big Ten championship game. They do make it sometimes, but most of the time they won't, especially because of how Michigan, Ohio State is, and Penn State really has been. So, but yeah, that's tough. They're right on track for their 9-3, 8-4 team.
Well, and now that there's not divisions, they can't just sort of beat up on the West.
Right.
When the West kind of, for many years, the West is kind of weak, and it's imminently winnable for Iowa. Now they're just stuck competing with the entire conference, which they basically have no chance at this point. And the thing is, it's not like you can't recruit talent there. They send O-linemen to the league. They send every level of defense to the league. They send running backs to the league. They send everything to the league except receivers and quarterback. And and that's obvious. Those are the obvious weaknesses on the team. And then until they get that sorted out, I don't think they're really going to be in contention for the Big Ten. And I don't get it, because they can draw really good talent there in every other position except those positions. So that's, to me, I don't understand it. All right. That's all I got on my notes.
Yeah, me too. Go ahead in the comments, leave how many Iowa QBs are in the NFL or made it on there, and we'll acknowledge that.
Yeah, I don't know. There's
a couple. There's at least a couple.
Well, but like that are starting right now?
I don't know, but ones that have gone.
Okay, well, yeah, I can't think of them right now. But what about receivers? Do they have receivers in the league?
That's a good question. I don't know. So the Drew Tate, I don't know if he's still in there, or Ricky Stanzi, but they might be.
Oh my God! Somebody put up a clip of who's the guy, Kuiper, talking about talking about Stanzi being the consensus pick, whatever year that was, and there's other like total studs that ended up in the NFL, and somebody put up Kuiper saying teams are idiots if they don't draft Stanzi, and then there's like Hall of Fame QBs that went after that got drafted that same year. So, anyways, all right. Well, sorry, Iowa fans, I don't mean to poo-poo your ability to send QBs and receivers to the league, but I think it's kind of understood. So anyways, all right. Well, that's all I got on my notes. You done with yours?
Yeah.
All right. So, well, if you're still with us, we appreciate you checking out our video. We know our channel's small. We just started it last year. So if you like what we got going on and you'd like to support us, a like and a subscribe would go a long way, and we'd super appreciate it. So for Jeff Dover, I'm John Barber, and that's your Saturday versus Sunday podcast.